Hello, I'm the Simming Rowlet, and welcome to my first build video. This build is base game and has no custom content, so that hopefully all of you watching who have The Sims will be able to enjoy this build. We start off by building the basic shape, raising the platform and the back area, and then I end up building a second floor so I can just use the floor as a ceiling over top of the back area just to give it some shade. And then I build small columns on the sides of the house just to make the house have a more dynamic shape instead of just having a plain box, which is always good. And then I just set out some of the rooms. That ends up being the bathroom, and then I just mess around with the shapes, see how the house should be. But I guess I decided it was way too small, so I just built a little extension to the side which ends up becoming the bedroom. But then I think I decided it's a bit too big, so I shrink it down a little bit more. And then I think I start work with just the general functionality of the outdoor areas, so just having stairs up. And I also put some half walls on the roof just to make it less flat on top and just have some more shape to the roof as well. Just moving the walls in one block. And then I think I start just putting the skylights in, which came with the free update last month now. I really wanted to include a sky roof just so I could make the most of the newer features and then have some natural light as well. So I ended up adding 2 skylights. And it looks really great in the screenshots when you can see the light just pouring in onto the rooms and onto the furniture. I really like the look of it. And then I end up doing the outline of the house. But I go with white to begin with, but I end up making it black and then it ends up being grey at the very end. Because I realized that the house was starting on the outside, the house was really white, so I needed to break it up a little bit, so I made it black. But then I decided grey was the best colour, because it wasn't as intense as black is. Also, I changed the colour of the columns just so it stands out a bit more. Even the foundations had a darker grey colour, so I used that with it. I ended up messing with the roof a lot. It ends up being white at the very end, but it goes through a few colours and variations. For now it's black sheet metal, but it becomes just a flat white colour at the end, which I think it turned out the best. Putting some windows in. Yeah, I think I put in all the windows now, so the bathroom and kitchen area gets small windows. The bedroom gets nice windows along either side of the room to let in lots of natural light in the mornings. I end up making the columns darker. It's not black, it's still grey. And then once I finish the foundations, I think I finished the windows in the bedroom and the front area as well. The front gets, well, the back area rather, the back area gets lots of windows. Because they'll be trying to make it like a seamless transition when you walk outside. Because this house, it's a single bedroom house, but there's lots of space for the sim living in it to host lots of parties, because there'll be a big dining table and a large outdoor entertaining area, as well as a pretty decent lounging area rather, because it's all one big open space living. So once that's all done, I put in the doors. Since this is base game, the only doors that I thought would look best is just the plain wooden doors with the black outline, or the black door frame, which I think is which looks pretty fine. And then I end up making the roof, or the roof white. I did change the outline to black, but I made it white again. But I do end up changing it to grey, as I said earlier. So this is when I tried all black, which was too intense, so I just made it grey. It even matches the pillars, so it makes sense. And then I think I move on to the trees and plants soon. I put in a few trees here and there. The hedge ends up not being in the final design, so that will be gone. So after this fence, I believe I move on to the trees. And I put trees in the front, and I put a few in the very back. So a few go there, and then like one really tall tree goes at the back. So I mess with the shape a little bit. I think this is the time when I thought that it would have been really nice if there was a flat glass roof option, but I'm pretty happy with the single slant roof. It looks pretty good. Putting some grass down as well to make it a lot less flat. Have some lush plants around the house. Putting some moss as well, and then terrain paint all around. After this, I move on to the pool. I really liked how the pool like curves around the house, and then those hedges disappear. But I put different hedges later when I do the furnishings a little bit. I put the rounder hedges, the ones that are slightly larger than the ones I put down. And I think that turned out better than the box hedge. I did put some more grass around just to give it give the little bushes more volume. And I did put a light on the column, but I ended up taking it off and putting them on the archway to the entrance. But for now, I've put 2 lights at the walkway, but those don't stay. A few lights in the pool. I make the pool wall and floor black just to make the pool a bit darker, which I think looks a lot more visually pleasing on a house like this. There's those round bushes. This back stairs, I mess around with them a little bit, but I decided to just have it open, even though it is a bit unsafe to have access to the pool without a gate, but it's The Sims, so I just made it like that. And then I just put some terrain paints. Guess I thought it was a bit too dark, so I just made it a bit lighter. And I think we're almost ready to start working on the furnishings, but I do outdoors first. So I put a barbecue in and a few seats. I do put tables in there, but I end up removing them because I thought that there is a point when there's too much seating for the size of the house, even if it is going to have lots of visitors. I put some lights down. I did mess around with other versions, but I just did the floor lights in a nice symmetrical pattern. And I haven't done the indoor lighting yet. Yeah, this is when I remove the entrance lights. Mess around with, yeah, here they go. There's the lights that I was talking about. Put some more ferns and bushes around. That was a bit glitchy, but works out in the end. More bushes. I did put a window there, but removed it. Yeah, now actually it looks like we no, we did start outside. So messing around with the tables and chairs outside. I tried to make it work with a large table, but it didn't work. So I tried a little one. Now I noticed the chairs with the cushions were a lot more of a clean white, so I used those instead, but in the end, I do remove the table because I didn't like it in the end. Put some nice outdoor seating for guests and a barbecue. I also added a nice coffee table and some little armchairs so guests can sit outdoors and enjoy the fresh air while they eat some nice barbecue food. And I didn't do much outside to begin with. I think I put a few more decorations outdoors a bit later in the final product, but now we've moved indoors into the kitchen. It was a bit annoying that the bar didn't have the same color so the same color scheme as the countertops, but I just found one of the bar colors that I liked and just made all the counters the same color. Putting in the kitchen, fridge. I did mess with the curved sides, but I wanted to make have more seating options, so I put just a right angle corner. Putting some cabinets up top. I did save just in case. A range hood goes in. Putting some visible plates just to. I did mess with the orientation, but the original one was best. The big TV. I think I shrink it down a little bit, but it's still a really big television. Putting some seating. The base game chairs are pretty good either way. I really like this collection of chairs. And I tried having like a feature wall of a darker blue, but I ended up changing that, just making it white again. Aligning the dining table with the skylight, so directly above the table you'd have a nice view of the sun or nice view of the sky from indoors, which fits with the color scheme of the house, because inside I tried to keep it a nice like light blue. So I guess when you look up in the sky or look up from inside the house, there'd sometimes be a nice sheet of blue on the ceiling when you look outside from the roof. And now we move on to the bathroom. It's not too special, but I did have it. I think that there will be a bath, a nice sink, and some shelves for items, and a nice bath mat as well. I do change the sink. That was a bit too flash. I like this kind of design with that type of shelving. Putting in some decorations now, and the toilet. I switched the door orientation just to make it a bit more realistic, so that it opens out into the bar, so that the door opens from away from the toilet. Putting in some shelves and putting in some shelving inside the bathroom. I tried extending it and moving the table, but that didn't work out, so I just fixed it up and put it back the way it was. Yeah. Looks like we're doing more decorations now. Putting some plants and paintings around everywhere. But I realized at the very end that the person living in this house has a lot of watering to do throughout the day, because I put lots of plants inside the house as decorations, but I like how it looked in the end, and in The Sims you don't have to water them, so I don't mind either way. Putting a little bit of decoration outside, just a simple ottoman. I had trouble initially finding the right painting, but I think I stuck with the butterfly one. But I do use the blueprint kind of one a bit later in a different area. Yeah, it looks like I had a lot of, yeah, there we go, the butterfly one. And now we move on to the bedroom. The bedroom is probably the room that has the most blue in it, so if you don't like blue, that's a bit of a shame, but I hope you like it either way. And I had trouble finding the right bed, but in the end I think the bed choice I made was the best one. This isn't the final bed, by the way, it does become blue. And I thought I'd try an experiment by having some kind of like a built-in bedside area, so the light ends up being above the bed, so that will be the light that you can turn off and on. So that's why there's no bedside lamps or anything, because you don't need it, and you probably wouldn't be able to reach it or use it because it's too far away to read a book with or whatever. So putting in some dresses. I do end up choosing a regular shelf instead of the tall one, and I end up moving the little stair-shaped shelf, the stair-shaped dresser outside, in the dining area, just to have some more furniture outdoors. Yeah, this is where I shrink the TV so I could fit the bookshelf, but I end up using the wall-mounted bookshelf because it's simple and functional, while not looking too out of place. And I did struggle to find nice blinds because lots of packs include really nice blinds, but I end up just sticking with those white ones, which I think look fine either way. I experiment with all of them just in case, but I choose these regular blinds, which I think look fine. I don't know what I tried to do there, but I deleted and put blinds. And I did experiment with small blinds, but no, I don't think I was going to add any. And why would you want to block off such a good view? So I just didn't put any blinds there either. I did add a nice reading space for Sims that like reading, so I add a light, and I add a little coffee table to the side with a book on it. Yeah, I think it turned out really nice. And it's a good, nice place to put your coffee as well, hence the name coffee table. And then I start working on the lighting. I like the bar lights, they look really nice. Making the house. I always like these specific lanterns because, well, they look like lanterns, but I really like it because the default color is it's a warm tone. So I don't really like the other lights because most of them have a really cold tone to them, so you'd find that in most of my builds I end up using these like paper lantern kind of lights because I just like the color. And I use auto lights a lot, so there used to be this glitch where if you put all the lights on and change the color of the lights, it'd disable auto lights. So I just ended up just sticking with these paper lantern lights because they had the default warm tone color. Anyway, I think I'm not sure how much longer this goes on for, but it's just mostly decoration. And I try my best not to use the same like decoration twice, apart from like books and stuff, because like if you have the same plant everywhere, I don't think it looked that great. So I tried to use each plant no more than once. But it was a bit difficult since there weren't many options, but I think I did a good job of it in the end. I think like 2 or 3 of the plants have been used twice, but it's really hard to notice. I did some experimenting. I think I make the bedside tables are black just so it matches the shelf, but I think it looks better that way. And I'd add some mirror, add a mirror with a plant next to it. A nice blue carpet, or blue rug rather. And I did try the blue for that bed, but I didn't like it. I did make it that, but I just changed it to the really modern looking bed. I think I used the darker option as well, but I think I might change that a bit later. Now we're moving on to some more decorations to the side. I think I end up using a bookshelf, so it will be functional. I tried putting some hobby items down, but I don't think it would fit in a house like this, so I just used some shelving. And another accent table gets placed down next to that bookshelf. I mess around with a few of the decorations. Yeah, I think I already used that plant once, but that's outside, so it's hard to notice. Put a tissue box down. And I try and orient the soap in a really nice location, so your Sims can wash their hands with soap. I move on. See, I changed the bedside table. I think actually that happened a bit later. But I did make the back wall a nice dark. I give it a nice blue feature color. I guess the bedside tables became black on top, but I chose the color scheme that had blue on the front, which I think really fit the room. And I noticed that the whole outside of the house was like some baby blue color, so I just fixed it up right away when I noticed it. It's just, but the indoor wall color is still a nice baby blue color. Well, I think it's called baby blue. It's a really, really light blue, so it's really hard to tell. Fine tuning. I was gonna put a stereo down, but I decided not to. Decorations. I'm really happy with the decorations in base game. A lot of options to choose from. The classic pear painting. And then I moved the staircase, the multi-tier shelf ends up going there. Yeah. Goodbye. And I put a seat there instead. And then the bedside table that's near becomes... There's a bunch of books placed on there just to make it look like, I guess, a sim reads on that. A sim reads on that seat often. I was gonna put it on the floor, but that was a bit weird, so I just put it on the bedside table. Some more paintings and decorations, and I think we're almost done. Just some final touches in the kitchen. I don't know what I was doing here with this satellite. I hadn't actually seen it before, so I was just like looking at what it was. And then I think after we do some few final color touches, we're done. But oh yeah, I put some mats down, and I was gonna try and put a chalkboard on the side of it. I mean, a pin board on the side of the fridge, but I'm not sure why I was doing that, so I just deleted it. And I put a little Zen garden on the desk. Yeah, I think we're done. Oh yeah, we also, actually, no, we're not done yet. We put some terrain paints on the outside. I don't know why I always do this, but whenever there's a foundation, I just put dirt terrain paint around the entire edge of the house, because I think it just looks more realistic that way. Actually, it looks like we put some more plants down as well. But I think the inside of the house is essentially complete. Just some final touches outside, terrain paints. Yeah, I think now we're... Oh no, oh that's right, I put a little opening on the back area roof, and so it can let some more light in. And I think it looks nice on the ground when you look at it from underneath. I had trouble finding some kind of design, but I ended up finding like a really nice circular design that's pretty symmetrical. Well, it's kind of symmetrical rather. And I ended up changing it to black. Sadly, there was no grey option, so I made it black instead. But from bottom, it looks the same. Wait. Oh, we're still not done. I forgot how much decoration I did after I finished the interior. Yeah, so put some bird baths in. We put some columns in. I removed the ones that are further out and just keep the inner ones. I'm not sure what else I did. I don't think I put anything there in the end, or did I just put a plant there? I don't think I left anything in that corner. Whoa, what happened to that bag? No idea. Oh no, I put a plant there with a round black carpet. Yeah, now I remember, awesome. I think that looked really nice. I put a weird like wall decoration there. And I put clocks everywhere as well. Jeez, I didn't know I spent that much time. Anyway, we're done now. I'm certain that we're done. Anyway, now that we're done, I'll move on to the screenshots. If you would like to download this build for yourself and put it in your world for your Sims to live in, feel free to look me up on the Sims gallery under The Rowlet. The build will be called Modern Retreat. Further details will be in the description below. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!